Hello dear audience, my name is Aishola Birbayeva. I'm a third year student of Aalto International University. Today we're going to talk about ninth chapter of the book Religion and Conflicts and deeper know about religious worldviews, beliefs, doctrines and ideologies. In recent decades, the world has witnessed a surge in conflict attributed to religious fervor. From the violent uprising following the Iranian Revolution to the enduring clash between Western forces and militant Islamic groups, religion has emerged as a potent force shaping geopolitical landscapes. Yet, it's crucial to recognize that religious violence knows to bound of faith. Across history, we have seen how diverse religious affiliations from Islamic to Christianity have been intertwined with political agendas, sparking conflicts and bloodshed. By examining case studies such as the Sri Lankan Civil War and the Ku Klux Klan's activities, we illuminate the multi-faced role of religion conflict dynamics. Furthermore, we scrutinize the rational calculus behind the choice of resort of violence, emphasizing that religious violence is often instrumental, driven by political objectives, underpinned by religious ideologies. By acknowledging the emotional fervor that religious ideologies can evoke, we contend that traditional cost-benefit analysis largely dictates the utilization of violence as a political tool. Nevertheless, we recognize the significant impact of religious traditions in shaping attitudes toward violence, underscoring how historical precedents and doctrinal interpretation influence contemporary decision-making process. In exploring the rationality behind the choice of violent tactics, we neither diminish the genuine religious motivation behind political actions nor discount the formative role of religion in shaping political goals. Instead, we seek to provide nuanced understanding of how religious and political factors intersect in context of conflict. Violence, which is caused by religion, is usually connected to religious worldview, beliefs, doctrine, or ideology. Religious causes of violence can be divided into four overlapping and interrelated by distinct categories. Now let's delve deeper into national of instrumental violence. Religious ideologies, much like political ideologies, can be instrumentalized to pursue various political agendas. This might involve establishing a religious state, enacting laws that privilege a particular religion, or restricting the rights of other religious groups. However, it's important to note that violence is typically a last resort when peaceful means of pursuing these agendas have failed. Rational political actors, including those with religious motivation, generally prefer peaceful and legal avenues to achieve their goals. Take for instance the case of Algeria, where the Islamic Salvation Front initially pursued its goals through peaceful and legal means. However, when those avenues were closed off, a violent civil war ensued. Similarly, anti-abortion violence in the United States escalated over the time as political efforts and non-violent protests failed to achieve the desired outcomes. In non-democratic regimes where avenues for peaceful protests are often restricted, violence may be perceived as the only viable option for effective social and political change. Now, let's explore another dimension of religious violence, defending the religion. Religious worldviews and beliefs are deeply ingrained in the individual and collective identities, often residing in the non-rational realm of the psyche. For believers, any perceived threat to their religion is not merely a challenge to be dealt with rationality. It's an assault on their very identity and existence. This innate instinct to defend one's religion can sometimes manifest in violence. In Israel, the simple act of driving on the sabotage can lead to violent protests due to its violation of Orthodox Jewish beliefs. Similarly, the publication of unflattering images of religious figures has sparked global protest and violence among offended believers. Psychology studies have shown that individuals and communities tightly woven into religion frameworks are particularly sensitive to perceived threats to their values. Such threats can evoke extreme anxiety and prompt defensive reaction. In the eyes of believers, defining their religion is not only rational but essential for their collective identity and social cohesion. To comprehend the motivation behind religious conflict, we must acknowledge and analyze the perspective of those involved. Now let's delve into the third pathway through which religious worldviews and doctrine can lead to violence: mandates for violence within religious laws and doctrines. Across Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, there exist doctrines that explicitly sanction warfare under certain conditions. Concepts such as holy war have historically justified wars to defend the faith and, in some cases, expand religious territories. In recent years, the concept of jihad in Islam has been invoked by some to mandate a war against non-Muslims, under the pretext of defending Islam from perceived existential threats. While other religions may also have concept of warfare within their doctrines, the centrality and revival of holy war in Islam have been notable in recent times, reflecting complex historical and geopolitical factors. Moving on the fourth pathway through which religious worldviews and ideologies can lead to violence: the seemingly benign religious activities that still provoke conflict. In many societies, seemingly innocuous religious practices can be perceived as threats by members in other religious groups, leading to tension and conflict. For instance, in construction of mosques in Western countries, in non-Muslim places of worship in Muslim-majority nations can spark controversy and restrictions. This pattern of discrimination against minority places of worship is widespread, affecting nearly half of all countries globally, regardless of religious affiliation. Even simply being a member of religious groups can be enough to trigger hostility to certain contexts. For example, the Baha'i community in many Muslim countries face persecution due to their perceived apostasy. Recent empirical studies have shed light on the complex relationship between religious ideology and conflict. These studies have shown that terror groups with religious ideologies tend to be more violent, and conflict involving religious demands are less likely to end through negotiation. And this was the end of my today's presentation about religion conflict. Thank you for your attention. See you next time.